Hello friends, I made a video about the post-installation tasks for Gentoo and I have written in it to be continued, and this video can be considered a part of it, but I'm not sure, so it's up to you whether you want to do it or not. I wanted to continue with the videos from the same series of post-installation, but I got distracted with many things. For example, I had a virtual machine and it was with Gentoo, but it was broken, so I made another one and it was broken, which prevented me from continuing with the same series of videos. So one of the basic things when it comes to security for your system is a firewall. You must have a firewall on your system. If you want to install Firewalld on Gentoo, which is the topic of this video, you simply run sudo emerge -av firewalld. Before I run this command, you need to know something. If you are using binary kernel, dist kernel, there are some configurations that you don't need to bother about. So simply run this command. If you aren't, you need to run this command and you need to watch the output. Since I remember that in the wiki there was a section that tells about the kernel configurations that need to be set in your source kernel. Let's press Y here. I am sure, yeah, so I'm gonna cancel the installation, so should you, and then this thing here, you are supposed to have something similar, but let me tell you, you may have more. You may have many errors saying that the kernel configuration or kernel parameter is not set when it should be. You take it the way it is. This process can be a little tedious, so you run sudo I to switch to the root, and then cd usr src linux, and then you run make menu config. Before you run make menu config, make sure you copy this since you're gonna use it. Press enter here. You can run also make xconfig. You can also go to the configuration file and change the parameters from there. This this error, for me, it's not harmful. I tried Firewalld before and it was working fine, so even if I did not change it, nothing will happen. For you, you need to be aware of the ones that appear to you, and I'm sorry not to have the exact parameters to be set for the kernel for Firewalld, since they were like taken out of the wiki page. So here you press /, you paste it here, and OK. Here it shows like it is enabled. I guess it was complaining about it because some other configurations are related to it and need to be on. Maybe this one, we need to make it on, or maybe because it wants the configurations not to be modules, but they want them to be built in. Let's look for this. We simply copy it, press /, look for that one, OK, and we will know where it is. It's under network support, networking options, network packet filtering framework. Okay, let's go to it. Network support. I wish I could remember it. Let's look for it again. Sorry. No. I will need to exit out of here again. It's not something. I told you it's not an easy process, to be honest. So we go make menu config again. and then this one like this. We take this one, we need this one here, this one. So it should be network support, network options, network packet filtering framework, network support, network options, this one, core, this one. Then we look for the option we are looking for. Okay, connection tracking helpers in user space, connection tracking helper. Sometimes you may not find it since it depends on another option, so you need to enable the other option in order to have that option you're looking for. If you are not ready for the headache of this process, if we can say, simply go with the dist kernel, install it, and you will have all the options on for you. Otherwise, if you are someone who likes to have only the necessary options enabled in your kernel, simply bear and switch the options to be on or off the way you want them to be. So what was it exactly? Let me remember it again. Connection tracking helpers and user space via netlink. Connection tracking helper, user space. I guess it was on top. Connection tracking, timeout, no. No. Yes, alright, so I cannot find the option I'm looking for, so I have only the option of ignoring this thing. For you, you shouldn't. Some of the options that the installation may complain about, you need to look for them one by one, enable them one by one, and then install Firewalld. Before I go to the next step, or maybe this is the next step already, which is enabling the use flags for Firewalld. Let me exit out of the root user. We go to sudo nano etc portage package.use Firewalld, password, enter. Okay, you can set whichever use flags you want. In my case, I would go with IP tables, NF tables, and GUI. I guess I will simply delete it, but in case you want to have a graphical user interface, enable it there, save and exit. If you did not choose your use flags before the installation, simply choose whichever you want and then reinstall your package. The use flags that you have seen, which are NF tables and IP tables, may require any source kernel user to enable the options in the kernel the same way I have done. So the options for IP tables are as you can see, and the options for NF tables are as you can see. Some of them may require you to understand and know when to enable them or disable them. I may make a separate video about enabling NF tables on Gentoo. If you don't want to enable it, simply don't enable the use flag. This one, don't have it enabled. You can delete it like this, or you can also type like this, NF tables, to prevent Firewalld to depend on it. For me, I will accept, or I will keep it there, so I'm not gonna save it. Now let's go and install the package. Oh yeah, I forgot something. Don't forget to compile your kernel. Don't forget to compile your kernel. So you need to go and run. This is after you select all the options for Firewalld. You simply run this command, but you change it to match with the number of the threads that you have on your system. This one for minus J, and the number, it should be with the number of the threads of the processor on your system. Same thing here. This necessarily need to be one command. This one you may need to run make modules prepare, I'm not sure. And then this one is optional. I don't think you need to run it. This is for the modules to be rebuilt, and I guess you don't need it for Firewalld and for the option that you have enabled, unless it's maybe for modules. You run this to make the init ramfs. This one needs to be with the version of your kernel, which I'm going to show you how you get it. And then you run this command, and then you reboot. You simply run this command to know the version. Once you knew it, you simply paste it here. You replace this with the version of your kernel. Again, exit again, and then let's install Firewalld. This is when you are installing packages in a different screen, you get this thing. So press Y here and enter. For me, I didn't find this thing, the option of the kernel that it's complaining about. Otherwise I will enable it, and Firewalld sounds like it's working without any errors. Okay, the next thing is to enable the service, which should be done by running the command sudo rc service add firewall default rc update, sorry. Okay, and then for rc service we simply use it to start the firewall already, which should be executed like this. Okay, the next thing is we check sudo firewall cmd list all. Yes, this thing you need to be careful about in case it's not enabled, and you are enabling the firewall from a remote machine. It will cause your SSH connection to be dropped. It will cause you to be locked out of your machine, so you need to enable it again from the machine directly to be able to SSH into it. I guess that's it. That's how you can install Firewalld. If you're interested in similar content, please subscribe. If I made any mistake, I'm sorry for it. I'm still improving and working on improving the channel from almost all the aspects. Like the video if you think it's worth it. Comment with whichever you want to say. Thank you for watching, and peace.